The twin suns of planet Virex burned hot above the sand. The marketplace was busy. Aliens from many worlds shouted, bargained, and traded. But then, everything changed. The crowd suddenly went silent. Claws clicked on the stone path. A low growl echoed between the stalls, and then they saw it. A giant black beast with glowing red eyes walked slowly into the market. Its body was covered in dark armor-like skin, and its tail smashed a crate without even trying. Its mouth opened, filled with sharp, shining teeth. People screamed, but beside the monster walked a girl. She was small and looked young, with pale purple skin and long white hair. Her clothes were simple but clean. Her glowing blue eyes were calm. She held a leash in one hand, a thick glowing chain connected to the beast's metal collar. The alien traders froze. Some ran, others hid. Everyone feared her. Everyone, except one man. Jace was human, a traveler and trader. He stood beside his small cart, chewing something like gum. When he saw the beast, he didn't move. When he saw the girl, he raised an eyebrow. The alien girl noticed him, the only one who didn't fear her. She walked closer, her pet growling. The crowd parted like water. Jace didn't run. He didn't even blink. He smiled. "Well, aren't you a strange little pair?" he said casually. The girl's eyes narrowed. "You are not afraid?" "Nope," Jace said, leaning against his cart. Big teeth, loud growl, glowing eyes. "Looks like my uncle's dog back on Earth." The beast stepped forward and sniffed the air near Jace. Its breath was hot. Its eyes locked onto him. Then, it wagged its tail. The girl gasped. "Impossible," she whispered. Jace slowly reached out his hand. The alien crowd screamed, thinking he was about to lose it. But the monster didn't bite. Instead, it pressed its head against Jace's hand. He scratched behind its ear like it was a regular dog. The beast made a low, happy sound. The girl's face turned red, a blush. "You touched him," she said. "Yeah," Jace said. "He likes me. No one has ever touched him and lived." Jace looked down at the beast. "He's not so bad." The girl stepped closer. "Who are you, human?" "Name's Jace. And you?" "I am Yara," she said. "And this is Core." "Core?" Jace said, looking at the beast. "Cool name." Yara stared at him. Her pet. Core had killed trained warriors. Even high-ranking alien commanders avoided them. She had been used as a weapon, feared everywhere she went. But this human, this strange, bold human, was talking to her like she was normal. No fear, no hate, just curiosity. Core licked Jace's arm. The crowd gasped again. Yara's heart pounded. "This has never happened before," she said quietly. "You should not be alive." "Well, I guess your pet likes me," Jace said with a grin. "Maybe he's just misunderstood." Yara didn't answer. Her mind was racing. Could it be? Could this human be the one? Her grandmother once told her a story, a legend about a human who would not fear the beast. The one who could touch its heart and soul. The one the beast would choose, but that was just a myth, wasn't it? Yara looked at Core. He had sat down beside Jace, peaceful and relaxed, like a loyal pet. No, not like a pet, like a guardian. Jace picked up a fruit from his cart and tossed it to her. "Hungry?" Yara caught it. She was still shocked, but nodded. "Thank you." "I'm gonna be here for a while," Jace said. "Trying to trade some stuff, maybe find a cold drink." "You're welcome to join me," Yara looked around. The other aliens were still watching in fear, but when she looked at Jace, she felt safe. Strange. She walked beside him and sat near his cart. Core laid down between them like a giant protective wall. Jace handed her another fruit. "So what brings a girl like you and a beast like him to a place like this?" Yara looked at him and said softly, "Maybe destiny," Jace laughed. Well, if it is, it sure has good taste. And just like that, the galaxy shifted. The girl with the feared monster had found the only man who didn't fear her, or her pet. And deep inside, something powerful had just begun. That night, the stars above Virex were quiet, but the whispers in the market were loud. Did you hear? The human touched the death beast. They say he laughed when it growled. No one's ever survived a stare from that monster, and in the center of it all, Jace sat by a small fire, roasting strange meat on a stick, while Yara sat across from him. Her sharp eyes locked on him, her deadly pet curled beside them like a warm shadow. Kor, the beast that terrified warlords, was purring. Yara couldn't understand it. You should be dead, she whispered again, not for the first time. Yeah, I get that a lot, Jace said, chewing calmly. Back home, they said I wouldn't survive my mom's cooking either. She didn't get the joke, but she watched him closely. Most creatures showed fear, even when they tried to hide it. Their bodies stiffened, eyes twitched, pulses quickened. But not him. His heartbeat was steady. He was calm. Kor chose calm, and that changed everything. I think your beast likes me, Jace said, scratching under Kor's chin. He is not a beast, Yara said quickly, eyes flashing. He is guardian bred, a protector, a weapon, a sacred being. He was born from rage and fire. Then why does he enjoy belly rubs? Jace asked, smirking. Kor rolled onto his back in reply, exposing his thick armored belly like a puppy. Yara's mouth opened, but no words came out. This wasn't just strange. It was forbidden. The ancient bond between the guardian and its master was supposed to be unbreakable. It chose her. It obeyed her. Until now. Now. It listened to him. She lowered her eyes. If he chooses you, then I have failed. Failed? Jace asked. Kid, you didn't fail anything. Maybe he's just tired of being feared. Maybe he wanted someone to treat him like more than a weapon. No, she said softly. It means he sees you as stronger. Jace paused, suddenly serious. And what does that mean for you? Yara hesitated. In my culture, if the guardian shifts its loyalty, I must follow. Jace blinked. Wait, follow? Like, follow? Yara nodded slowly, her cheeks going purple from the blush. I am not free anymore. I am bound. To me? Jace asked, stunned. Yes. Suddenly, Kor growled. Not at Jace, but toward the shadows beyond the fire. Jace stood quickly and pulled a small blaster from under his cloak. We've got company. Yara stood too, her face changing from soft to serious. Let me handle, but it was too late. 3 tall alien bounty hunters stepped into the firelight, armored and armed. Their leader's eyes glowed red. There he is, he said, pointing at Jace, the human who touched the weapon. We've come to take the beast. And the girl, another hissed. She is royal-blooded. Her bond can be sold. Jace raised his blaster. Try it, the leader laughed. You think you can stop us, human? No, Jace said calmly, stepping back. But he can. He pointed to Kor, and Kor rose, slowly, silently. Then he let out a roar so loud it cracked one of the bounty hunter's visors. Before they could move, Kor launched. Yara watched in awe. Kor moved like liquid death, but he didn't kill. He disarmed, slammed and pinned the enemies down without tearing them apart. He's showing mercy, Yara whispered. Because of you. The bounty hunters screamed for help. Should I stop him? Jace asked, looking at her. Yara nodded. Kor, Jace said firmly. That's enough. And the monster stopped, just like that, obeying the human. The bounty hunters ran, leaving weapons behind. Kor growled once more, then returned to Jace's side and sat down. Yara stared, stunned. You gave him a command, and he obeyed. Yeah, Jace said, looking at her. I think we need to talk. And deep in the shadows, something else watched them. Not a beast, not a soldier, something ancient. Something that had waited for this moment for a very long time. The next morning, Yara woke up before the twin suns rose. She sat silently by the cold fire pit, her arms wrapped around her knees. Her long white hair blew softly in the desert wind. Kor was curled nearby, not beside her like always, but closer, to him, Jace. The human was still asleep, his coat over his face, snoring lightly. Kor's huge body lay like a warm blanket beside Jace, protective, loyal. Loyal to him. Yara's heart felt heavy. She whispered, "You were mine, Kor. You were born for me." The beast opened one eye and blinked slowly at her. Then it closed again, resting peacefully. She looked down. In her world, this wasn't just betrayal. It was destiny. If the guardian turned away from its bonded one, it meant one thing. She was no longer chosen. But why? She was trained, strong, royal blood. She had raised Kor since he was a cub. Then came a human, wild, laughing, fearless, and Kor followed him like a pup. Yara's throat tightened. She didn't know if she felt anger or something else. Was it jealousy or was it pain? Before she could think more, Jace stretched and yawned. "Morning," he said with a smile. "Did I snore too loud?" "No," she said quickly, standing up. "You slept fine." Jace noticed the look in her eyes. "You okay?" She hesitated, then asked, "Why are you so calm around him?" He looked at Kor. "Because I don't see a monster." "But he is a monster," she whispered. "He was bred for war." Jace walked closer and sat near her. "Maybe," he said. "But just because something was made for war doesn't mean it wants war." She blinked. That idea was strange. "Kor doesn't want fear," Jace said, gently patting the beast. "He wants connection. You gave him that once. Maybe now. I just remind him of it." Yara stayed quiet. Then she asked something she had never dared ask before. "Do you think it's my fault? That he chose you instead?" Jace looked at her carefully. "No. I think he saw something in me. But that doesn't mean he's forgotten you." Kor lifted his head and gave a soft grunt, then slowly walked toward Yara. He rubbed his huge head gently against her chest, like a child seeking forgiveness. Her eyes widened, and tears filled them. "I thought I lost you," she whispered, touching his face. Kor growled softly, not in anger but like a soft purr. Jace stood. "Looks like he still loves you. But he still follows you," she said. Jace shrugged. "So, maybe we share him?" She looked up, surprised. "Share? I mean, if he wants both of us in his life, why not let him choose both?" Yara didn't answer right away. She was still struggling with what that meant, and then, suddenly, her wrist communicator beeped. A hologram flashed to life. An old alien man appeared, with silver robes and a hard face. "Yara," he growled, "you've bonded with a human? Is this true?" She froze. "How do you—" "The council sees everything," the old voice said. "Return at once, the prophecy has awakened." "What prophecy?" Jace asked, stepping closer. The hologram stared at him. "You are the one the beast follows." "I guess," Jace said. "You must be brought to the temple," the old voice ordered. "Immediately." Yara's heart raced. "You want to separate us?" "No," the voice said. "We want to test you." Then the hologram vanished. Silence followed. Jace looked at Yara. "Test?" She nodded slowly. "They want to see if you're truly the beast's chosen. And if I'm not?" She didn't answer, because they both knew. If he failed, he'd be killed. The temple stood high above the cliffs of Virex, carved into the rock like a sleeping god's skull. Strange symbols glowed across its walls, old language forgotten even by the stars. Yara stood silently at the entrance, her heart beating fast. Behind her, Jace adjusted his dusty jacket and looked up. That's one creepy building. This is where truths are revealed, Yara said, and lies are punished. Kor walked between them, calm but alert, as if he remembered this place. Because he did. Jace stepped through the temple gates without fear. Inside, the air was cool and heavy, like it was breathing. Alien priests stood in a circle, dressed in deep black robes. Their eyes were blindfolded, but they turned their heads as if they could see everything. One spoke, his voice echoing like a storm. The beast has returned. And he has chosen. Yara bowed. Yes, Elder. But he chose a human, the priests whispered among themselves. The word human made the temple walls shiver. Jace scratched his neck. Is that bad? The elder priest stepped forward. Do you know what Kor truly is, human? I know he likes ear scratches, Jace said. The priest ignored the joke. He touched Kor's collar, and it glowed with ancient runes. This is not just a pet, the priest said. He is the last of the Starborn Guardians, beasts bred not for war, but for protection of balance. Balance? Jace asked. Yara spoke quietly. Between worlds, between bloodlines, between species. The priest nodded. The Guardians only bow to the one who carries both strength and heart. For centuries, none were worthy. He looked directly at Jace. Until now. A second priest stepped forward with a long staff. The tip opened like a flower, revealing a glowing crystal. Place your hand, the priest said. Jace looked at Yara. She nodded. This is the test. The stone reads your soul. Jace sighed. I was hoping for a multiple-choice quiz. He placed his hand on the crystal. Nothing happened. Then suddenly, a beam of golden light shot upward, hitting the ceiling. Symbols lit up across the temple. The stone cracked slightly, glowing even brighter. The priests fell silent. One of them dropped to his knees. It is true. What is? Jace asked, pulling his hand back. The elder's voice trembled. You carry the blood of the first flame. Cool, Jace said. What does that mean? Yara's eyes were wide. It means you're not just human, the elder explained. Long ago, a human explorer crashed on this planet. He fell in love with a star priestess when their child was the firstborn with both Terran and Solari blood. That blood carried a gift, Yara added. The ability to bond with the Guardians, to speak without words, to lead without fear. And you, the elder said, are his descendant. Jace blinked. Wait, you're saying my great-great-grandpa hooked up with an alien priestess? Kor growled softly, almost like laughter. It would explain a lot, Jace muttered. The priest stepped back and bowed. The prophecy is clear now, the elder said. The Guardian chose you because you are the bridge between species, between war and peace. Yara looked at him, and for the first time not with confusion, but awe. You were never just a visitor, Jace, she said. You were always meant to come here. Jace looked around the glowing temple. His hand still tingled from the stone, and deep inside him something felt like it had woken up. Suddenly the temple shook. A deep roar echoed through the valley. From far below, black shapes began rising. War beasts. Unleashed. The elder turned pale. The ancient enemy. They've returned. Jace clenched his fists. Well then, he said, stepping forward with Kor at his side. Let's give them a reason to be afraid. The temple lights were still glowing when the council guards stormed in. Silver armor, heavy boots, no expressions. By order of the High Council, one of them said, the human must come with us. Now. Yara stepped in front of Jace. You can't just take him, the guard replied coldly. He carries forbidden blood. The prophecy was meant to be sealed. His existence is a threat. Jace raised his hand slowly. Hey, easy there. I'm just a traitor, not a threat. Unless you try to hurt my friends. Behind him, Kor growled, deep and low. The guards flinched but stood firm. One of them activated a shock cage, glowing blue and humming with energy. They threw it toward Jace. Before it hit him, Kor jumped. The cage struck the beast mid-air. Kor screamed. Yara shouted, "No!" Kor fell, body shaking, smoke rising from his skin. Jace rushed to him, grabbing the creature's head. "Kor, buddy, stay with me." A second shock cage was thrown, and this one wrapped around Jace. His body stiffened, electric arcs crawling across his skin. He collapsed beside Kor. "Stop!" Yara screamed, eyes glowing with fury. "He's not the enemy." But the guards didn't listen. They dragged Jace's body toward the exit. Yara's knees hit the floor. "You can't take him. I need him." The elder priest tried to reason. "He is the chosen. You have no right." A guard cut him off. "This chosen will destroy the balance." Then they looked at Yara. "You've bonded with him. That bond will be broken. One way, or another." Yara's body shook with rage. Her people had always seen her as a tool. Her pet Kor was used as a weapon. And now, the only person who treated her like more than a title was being taken away. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't think. And then, she snapped. With a scream that shook the pillars, Yara pulled something from her robes, a sharp ceremonial. "Blade! Let him go!" she shouted. The guards turned, but they were too slow. Kor, despite his pain, launched forward with a roar. The cage around Jace shattered as the beast crashed into the soldiers, knocking them away like rag dolls. Jace coughed, gasping for air. "Thanks, buddy." Yara helped him stand, her voice was shaking. I couldn't lose you." He looked at her. "You won't." Suddenly more guards appeared, this time with plasma rifles aimed at them. Jace pulled Yara behind him. "No one else gets shocked today," Yara whispered. "They won't stop, not until you're locked away and we're dead." Jace looked at her, eyes calm. "Then we stop running." The elder priest shouted from behind. "There is another way." Everyone froze. "There is an ancient law," he said. "If the bonded one claims him as her life mate, the council cannot interfere." Yara's heart skipped. Jace blinked. "Wait, life mate? Like marriage?" Yara stared at him, breath shaky. "Yes, it's the only way, but you have to agree." The guards looked confused, unsure whether to shoot or wait. Jace looked at Yara, then at Kor, then at the guards, and he grinned. "Guess I'm getting married today." Yara stepped forward, holding his hand. "I, Yara of the Solari Flame, declare. This human my life mate." The elder raised his staff. "The bond is sealed." The temple trembled slightly. The guards lowered their weapons. Protocol overruled orders. Jace squeezed her hand. "You okay?" Yara blushed. "I don't know what just happened, but I think you saved my life again." He smiled. "Nah. You saved mine." Kor growled happily beside them. Outside in the darkness, shadows were moving, enemies who had waited for this moment. The couple had survived the council, but now war was coming. The sky over Virex turned blood red. From the far mountains, black ships began to descend, sleek, sharp, and silent. No banners, no warnings, assassins, the death claws. Yara saw them and froze. "They've come," she whispered. "The ones who kill prophecy before it spreads." Jace loaded his blaster and looked up. "More bad guys? What happened to just trading fruit?" Kor growled deeply beside them. The death claws didn't land near the temple. They crashed through, the walls like shadows with blades. In seconds, the ancient stone shook. Screams echoed. The priests tried to run. Yara grabbed Jace's wrist. "You have to escape. Now." "No way," Jace said. "Not without you." She stared at him, heart racing. "If they kill you, the prophecy ends." "And if they kill you," Jace said, "I lose more than just some ancient story." Corey stepped in front of them, his claws sparking. Suddenly a death claw dropped from above. Fast. Silent. A blade aimed straight for Jace's chest, but it never landed. Because Yara jumped in front of him. Slash! The blade struck her shoulder. Blood hit the ground, but she didn't fall. Instead, she roared like a warrior queen. "You will not touch what is mine!" The assassin tried to strike again, but Yara moved faster. Her blade spun like lightning. One slash, and the Deathclaw fell. Dead. More assassins rushed in. 10. 20. Jace raised his blaster, but Yara stepped forward. Her eyes were glowing. Now, her body pulsing with strange fire. "Stay behind me," she said. "I'm supposed to protect you," Jace shouted. She looked back at him, smiling through blood. Not today. Then she ran, straight into the enemy. She moved like a storm, not like a girl, like something divine. One by one, the assassins fell. Swords clashed, plasma sparked. Her body bled, but her spirit burned. And then, one Deathclaw got through. Blade, drawn, rushing toward Jace from the side. Jace turned too late, but a huge black shadow blocked the strike. Core. The beast took the hit, then crushed the attacker under its massive paw. Jace stared, breathless, as his strange alien team protected him with everything they had, then silence. The last Deathclaw dropped. Yara stood in the middle of the temple, chest rising and falling, soaked in blood, hers and theirs. The fire in her eyes slowly faded. She turned to Jace. He ran to her, catching her as she collapsed. "I'm fine," she whispered. "Just tired." "You saved me," he said, holding her close. She smiled faintly. "I chose you, remember?" Core limped toward them, growling softly as if to say, "We're still here." Suddenly, the temple cracked. The center floor glowed. A secret chamber opened below them. Stairs made of light. The elder priest, still alive, whispered, "The final gate has opened." Jace held Yara tighter. "What's down there?" The priest said only 2 words. "The throne." The glowing stairs led deep below the shattered temple. Jace carried Yara in his arms, her wounds still fresh but eyes open. Core walked beside them, each step echoing like thunder in the silent passage. At the bottom was a massive chamber, made of silver stone and floating crystals. In the center stood a throne, not made of gold but of living light. It pulsed softly, almost like a heartbeat. Yara stirred. "This is the seat of the flame. Only the one chosen by the Guardian and loved by the blood can sit on it." Jace looked at the throne, then at her. "Loved by the blood?" Yara's voice trembled. "It means me. If I love you, it accepts you." He blinked. "That's poetic." "Don't joke now." She smiled weakly. "This is where leaders are born. Kings are crowned, gods even." Jace took a slow step forward. The crystals spun faster. The throne lit brighter. But then, he stopped. Everyone, even the old priest who had limped in behind, stared. "Why do you hesitate?" the elder asked. Jace looked back at Yara. "I didn't come here to wear a crown," he said. "I came here to save her, to be with her, not to sit above her." The crystals froze. Even Core tilted his head, confused. Jace turned to the throne. "You want a king? Someone to rule? Fine. But if being king means I have to become more than human, then I don't want it." He knelt beside Yara. "I want to stay who I am. Just me. With her. That's enough." Suddenly the throne pulsed harder. The ground shook. Yara's eyes widened. "You refuse the throne. That's never happened before." And then the impossible happened. The throne stood up. It changed shape. The light spread and reformed into something new. Not a seat of power, but a bridge, a path made of glowing light, rising upward, not just through the temple, but toward the stars above. The priest gasped. The prophecy was never about ruling. It was about unifying. Jace helped Yara to her feet. Core howled once, loud and proud. The new path pulsed, leading not to a crown, but to a future. Yara squeezed his hand. "You broke their expectations. You made a new ending." Jace smiled. "I'm human. We're good at that." As they walked forward, a girl with warrior's pride, a beast bred for battle, and a human with no fear, the stars shifted above. A message spread through the galaxy. The guardian has chosen. The flame has loved, and the human has led. Not by taking power, but by refusing it.